Welcome back to another episode of Code Talk. I'm Mark.
I'm Gary.
Gary, welcome back.
Thank you.
You had a little bit of a hiatus there dealing with something, and I have to introduce Prickly Pete. Prickly Pete came in, and he was your fill-in while you were gone, and he wanted to come back.
That's awesome. Probably did a great job.
He did, because you want to know why? He doesn't say anything. He's very, very quiet. But he's the face of the city, and we like having him on the show, so we're going to keep him on the show. He's going to be our new guy.
That works for me.
Awesome. Code enforcement is part of neighborhood services. We used to be part of the police department, and then we moved over to neighborhood services. And a lot of people still think we're part of the police department, but actually us moving over there to neighborhood services, it got us a lot more resources that we can use to help out the community and the homeowners. And one of those areas that we utilize all the time is community engagement. And we thought no better person to bring on one of the guys that's in charge of community engagement, the Community Engagement Liaison Officer, Adam Preston. Welcome, Adam. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Mark, Gary, Prickly Pete.
There you go.
Mr. Adam.
He's our new friend on the show. So,
all right.
So a lot of times we have citizens that ask us for different needs that they may have in regards to upkeep in their yards. And it comes to a financial burden because they can't afford the tools or sometimes even the know-how. So I know that the city has a tool lending program. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so we offer the tool lending program for all citizens in Peoria. The citizens can call us at 623-773-7090 to request an appointment to pick up a tool. They can also email us at communityengagement@peoriaz.gov and request tools as well. But we have all sorts of tools, mainly hand tools, electric weed eaters, electric mowers, shovels, wheelbarrows, all the common things that, if somebody needed to clean up their yard really quick, front yard, backyard, we have the tools to help them out. And essentially it's a quick form to fill out. I could email them a fillable form, they could email it back to me, and the only requirement is that they're a Peoria citizen. And they will have to show proof of residency here in Peoria. So they like a driver's license, ID, and then like a utility bill. And then as long as they have that and we have the tools in stock, we'll set up a time that works for them. And it's usually like a Monday through Thursday. But if we do have part-time staff in on Friday, we can make exceptions as well.
So you can accommodate them on Fridays. The other thing is that I've heard, and I've never really inquired about it, but since we're here, I hear that you also provide goggles and gloves and trash bags with the tools that they're actually being loaned out to the citizen or the resident.
So that'll get into kind of like the volunteer work that we do. So if we have a volunteer group helping out a resident that can't do the work themselves, we will find a volunteer group that's looking for that type of work. We'll connect them with the resident. We'll supply them with the tool lending supplies and additional supplies if needed for that particular project, with a volunteer group.
Okay, so with that, I believe you want to talk about the
yeah, that was going to lead into my next question, where, we'll get cases that, people that have maybe a medical condition, or we're dealing with an elderly person that just doesn't have the capability to perform, one of the tasks that we're asking about cleaning up the property or some type of code violation around their property. So then we kind of step in and contact Adam, and you have some volunteers at your disposal that you can then bring into the property. You can kind of help out in these situations.
Correct. So you guys are out in the neighborhoods. You guys are always talking with the residents, seeing, the status of the neighborhoods, and, you'll contact somebody that can't do the work themselves. Maybe they're, disabled, something like that, to where they need assistance. You guys will talk with me, say, hey, I have this homeowner that needs this assistance. Do you have a volunteer group available? I reach out to faith-based organizations, businesses. I'm on, the city of Peoria is on Just Serve. What we're trying to do is create a volunteer hub. And so these volunteer groups will reach out to me, and citizens will call in if they need assistance with the yard, or you guys provide the information to me as well, and then I'll take that volunteer group, a particular volunteer group, and have them meet the homeowner so they could help them out.
I know that he's actually helped me on a few cases that I've had, especially when you have a lot of military personnel out and their significant other or their parent or their aunt or uncle is at home taking care of their property, and a lot of times they're not here to take care of that. So I know you helped out a lot of veterans, so I really appreciate that.
And I think if there's any groups out there that are looking for some volunteer projects, you know, feel free to contact Adam and get signed up as a volunteer group, because the more volunteer groups that we have, we don't wear out the already established volunteer groups just constantly using them. So like what you're wanting, you know, a bigger hub of volunteers, you know, we can conquer some more projects.
Or if you own a business and you have some time that you want to get the people together and do some good work in the city, definitely call Adam.
I do have businesses that reach out to me, so a particular day of the week, companies will have, say, this day that they work together. So they'll reach out to me and say, hey, you know, on Thursday of this month, we have our team building exercise. So I will find a project that'll work for that date and you know, help them with their team building exercise and help out a homeowner at the same time.
Yeah, when we're all working together as one big community, that helps and benefits the city and makes it a better area for us to live in.
So my next thing is, a lot of times you have different community situations where they need to get together and the community actually needs to come together and have a place to hash out possible code violations or neighborhood disputes kind of thing. And I know that you have a program, I think it's called like pop-ups. Can you get more detail what exactly that is?
Yeah, so we have a pop-up van, as we call it. City events will be there. We have city literature at the pop-up. We provide information about, well, not just the city, about county organizations, pretty much anything you could imagine as far as assistance-wise, we provide information for it. Specifically, we will go into certain neighborhoods, say if a certain department in the city is doing something new in the area and they need to get the information out there. We will go door to door, passing the information out to the residents or mailing it to them, letting them know there's a pop-up, an informational pop-up in the neighborhood, and it's about whatever concerns they might have had, addressing those, or new development in the area. We will have the specific people representing the departments at our pop-up to answer their questions.
So basically, if they have a concern in regards to lights or sanitation or code violations or anything like that, you'd have that department respond to do that. The other thing I hear is sometimes you might have some light refreshments. Like I heard there's a big hit about popsicles.
Yeah, definitely during the summer months, we'll bring our coolers and we'll bring popsicles and we'll have candy, the kids show up, and things like that.
I'm sure the kids love that.
Yep.
All right, Mark, what do you have?
Well, probably one of the biggest things that you're involved in throughout the year, and probably one of the most special events, is a program that helps us in the city come in and revitalize some areas and do some really deep cleaning of some neighborhoods. And Adam picks out an area and he will bring his group in, and I guess it's called Neighborhood Pride. If you can kind of tell us a little bit about that program.
It's a combination of, you know, your guys' department. You guys know the neighborhoods. You guys know, you know where these violations, high violation areas are. So our departments will get together and determine the particular neighborhood for the year, and we provide rock and paint at no expense to the homeowner. So everything's free, and this is all done with volunteer help.
You know, I've seen a few of these where you've actually had a whole neighborhood, but what's the most houses you've done in one weekend? Because I know this Neighborhood Pride takes a course over a weekend, but the planning takes months. So how many houses have you done on one weekend?
It's on one day, it's on a Saturday, it happens, and it starts at 7 o'clock in the morning and usually finishes by 2:30. And so, you know, an average number, 20 plus houses, 20, 25 to 30 houses a day, can be done by 2:30 that day. So that means gravel spread in their front yard, house is completely painted, exterior, even minor repairs on the homes if trim needed to be fixed. A lot of the times these volunteer groups, I match them up. I have them meet the homeowner prior to, and a lot of times these exterior things are repaired prior to project day, minor repairs, which once again, it's at no cost to the homeowners.
So you can really see that that's having a really good impact to some of our neighborhoods when we can go in and really help out these homeowners and do a deep clean in some of these older neighborhoods that need it. So that's an awesome program. And I know it's a lot of work that, on your part, and we really appreciate it.
And it's not just me, there's a whole team of us. We all work together, whether it's going out and getting the supplies or ordering snacks and drinks for the event. I mean, we go all out. We'll have dumpsters in the neighborhood. We'll have porta-johns in the neighborhood, everything so the volunteers don't have to worry about, okay, where do I go, where to go? No, we got food, we have snacks, we have dumpster, we have it all. And we want to make it a fun event for everyone. And so it's like, well, we want to make it that thing like, well, every October or every March, it's something we volunteer for, and we want it fun, a fun event for everyone.
Do me a favor, give your number again, because I'm sure we're coming on to the spring and March is right around the corner. You probably need some more volunteers. You can give your phone number and put it out there so that way maybe you can get some more volunteers from this. That would really help the community out.
Yeah, it's 623-773-7090. And that everybody in our community engagement area will get that. And if you call up saying, hey, I want to volunteer, or if you have questions about it, even whether it's the volunteering, tool lending, pop-up information, that's the number that you call, and we'll be able to help you out.
All right, well, let's have some fun. I hear there's another organization or another type of event you had. I guess it's called like a block party. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so it's similar to a pop-up in a way, but it's our pop-up van, and we pull a block party trailer. So residents have the availability to use the block party trailer. They can call us up at that number I just provided, and also they can go on the city website at pureaz.gov and find community engagement and go to our block party section, and they can request a block party trailer right there. They fill it out online, submit it. I get the email, and I'll respond to you and ask you about your event. You'll have a choice of 3 dates. We'll talk about the event layout, and it's a 4-hour block of time, so it's kind of like reserving a table. So somebody at that 4-hour block of time, that includes somebody pulling up, taking out the pop-up, the tables, chairs, yard games, taking out, everything there, and then the residents supply, the food and drinks, things like that to have their party. And it's really designed to bring the neighborhood together. So most of us grew up in a time where you knew everyone in the neighborhood. Right. After years go by, people move away, and nobody really knows each other. That's what the block party was designed for.
That's what I was telling Gary when we were kind of prepping for the show. I grew up on the East Coast, and block parties were really big when I was growing up. And it did. It got the neighborhood and the community, together, and you got to have a good conversation with your neighbors and just have a good, fun party time.
Sounds great. I was thinking, when you're talking about the trailer for the block party, there's gonna be like catered food and a bunch of clowns rolling out of the trailer. But you're talking more of the needs of tables, chairs, things like that.
Yeah, so we'll supply that to help. And hey, if the homeowners want to have clowns and everything else at their block party, hey, more power to them, right? Yeah, more power to them. And there's some people have a complete barbecue thing going on, and it's just depending, what their idea of the block party is. But they can request a street closure. So there's information on that on our website as well. It's a link they click, and that goes through the police department. They get that approval, and when they respond to that approval, we get that information as well, and have a fun time.
Got to get Prickly Pete out there.
Yeah, that'd be.
Because he likes to dance.
I think he needs wheels to be mobile.
Well, you can kind of tell that city code is just not about going out and talking to somebody about a violation. We have a lot of extra resources at our disposal. You know, we use the community engagement team to help us out to try to resolve some of the issues that might be dealing with a property and trying to keep the neighborhoods cleaned up. So we really appreciate all the hard work that your team does and all the help that you give us. So we really appreciate you coming on the show and giving us some good information about all the programs at your disposal. So
Thanks, Mark and Gary and Prickly Pete, for having me on. I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate it. Thank you.
So our next episode, I think we're going to go a little bit more mobile. We're going to get out and we're going to get around the city complex and start asking some questions about some code questions that might be kind of coming up with some of our citizens around the community, and get your questions all answered. So we're thinking about getting a little bit more mobile. I don't know if Pete will be as mobile with us, but we'll see what we can kind of work out. So with this episode, I'm Mark.
I'm Gary.
Have a great weekend.